make this introduction. So, hello everyone and welcome. I hope it's already working. Yes, it is now. So anyway, hello everyone and welcome. It's another episode of basically this podcast about Red Dead Online, in which I'm talking to different content creators and players of Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Online, and we're discussing different stuff. And today I introduced Outlaw Dalya to join me and talk about all this sort of stuff. She's a content creator on YouTube. You can find a link to her YouTube channel obviously in the description. And with that being said, one more thing that I need to mention is that like usually on such type of streams, I'm keep an eye on chat, but I'm not replying most of the time because I'm more focused on a conversation with my guests. So hello to you and welcome.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's kind of actually a funny story because I introduced Dalia a long time ago, I would say.
Yeah.
Not introduced, but invited. Sorry, that is the wrong word. But yeah, Twitter gets confusing sometimes.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to say. But anyway, it's better late than never, I guess.
It is.
So it's great to hear you. And we will begin with the first question. Describe your type of content or YouTube content, because it's really unusual, I would say, especially for Red Dead Online. Okay, you would rather say how can you describe it?
Okay, so my YouTube channel is basically a mixture of crazy stuff that happens whilst I'm just roaming around in Red Dead Online. So I would be doing bounty hunting, and then something crazy would happen during bounty hunting, and especially because I'm not really the best player, but I just make do with what happens, sort of thing. So yeah, and it's just the same with I just do traders, moonshiners, collectible here and there, but mainly bounty hunters, because I like how chaotic it gets for me sometimes. Today, I did a video trying to do a legendary bounty, but that I died to a horse, and then that was it. Our mission failed. So yeah, something crazy. Yeah, something crazy always happens to me whilst I'm playing. So it's always fun though.
Yeah, because to me your content looks like a vlog, like Red Dead Online vlog. Most it's different stories that happen to you while playing.
Yeah, something like that, I guess. It's because it's just I'm just roaming around doing my own stuff, sort of thing, and I just go in and wing it basically.
Yeah, luckily in these games there are a lot of stuff can happen. And what's recently is going on, let's say this way. Recently, Red Dead Online haven't received anything, any love from Rockstar, right? Is it affecting your willingness to play? Do you have less passion, or maybe just it's the same level? How it affects you?
Well, I have actually lost a bit of motivation here and there when I'm trying to play, because it's kind of hard to do daily videos every single day and find something new to do in that video. So that's what I mean. I'll just go in and just wing whatever happens. But it is kind of difficult now, especially because the Save Red Dead Online movement has been happening for almost 3 weeks now, and Rockstar have just been completely silent. And it's not like they haven't seen it. I'm pretty sure that they have seen it. Because articles have written about it, and even I saw your video the other day, even Roger, who plays Arthur, commented about it as well. So it is getting out there. It's just a bit we're getting it's a bit like neglect, where Rockstar is just ignoring us. But that's what it's all about, kind of thing. The community getting together for a long amount of time, 3 weeks almost, doing the same thing, saying #SaveRedDeadOnline, it shows just how much we care about the game and how much we want to actually get some content for the game because we want to play it. It is an amazing game. Like, story was an absolute masterpiece, and online has so much potential. It's just we just need to push Rockstar to actually do something, you know?
Exactly. I just ask this question because, you know, some, like, your type of content looks like, you know, this vlog situations looks like you can be fine without update. It's like sometimes people who more tend to stay on not a grindy side but on a immersion side of these games, they often say, like, well, it's fine that there is no update, we're still fine. That's why I asked you this question, actually, because I see that hardcore PvP players, like, and not hardcore, but like people who tend to focus on more immersion side of the Red Dead Online, they are less interested in updates because it seems like it's gonna be fine for them. But from what I speak to such players, it's always still they need an update. I may be wrong that you are on this immersion side of a gameplay. It's just I had this impression that you just
Yeah. It's because I would like to have content, so it's something new for you guys, like for my subscribers to see, and it's also something new for me to actually do as well. But whereas it's just nothing, and you're just redoing bounty hunting, and you're just constantly doing traders and moonshiners, I feel like sometimes it'll get up to a point where people are just kind of like fed up of seeing the same rinse and repeat cycle. So that's why I'm like, okay, if something new was to happen, for example, the new, like, something that can happen with the Horley and Jessica Leclerc's missions, because I feel like that could have, like, a continuous, like, storyline, but it's just like, they just need to actually give us something. It would be cool, though, to get some more legendary, so like a legendary bounty, or, like, something to do with, like, traders, because after you basically get Crips to start making materials, that's basically all Crips does, and then you just go and deliver. So it would be something, it would be interesting to see what he could do more, like what each role can expand to do. So I don't mind. From my point of view, I usually just do casual. I'm like a casual gamer kind of thing. But it would be nice to get something fresh and something new. Like the other day, I was doing a bouncy mission, and when you hog tie them, if you keep them alive, you hog tie them, and they're like saying, "Oh, I'll get you for this," or like, "Get me out of these ropes," sort of thing. So I'm thinking, if you, like, an idea would be, it would be nice if, like, you hand them in alive, and then eventually somehow they'll escape, but then they'll track you down in free roam, and they'll be like, "Oh, do you remember me? I'm this bounty," or whatever. And then you get to decide, like, you can kill them there and then, or you can, like, do something else with them, or something like that. Something like that would be nice to expand on. It just feels a bit boring that it's like, it could get a bit boring if you're just doing rinse and repeat.
Yeah, unfortunately. But do you think, like, what's your opinion? You said about how Rockstar ignored basically say Red Dead Online movement, and we're gonna talk about this later in more details. But what is your opinion? What is gonna happen next?
Well, it's been almost 3 weeks since this whole, say, Red Dead Online movement happened, and Rockstar have been silent. So I'm hoping, like, the thing that's, like, up there for me is that they'll actually have to give in to us, and they'll be like, okay, what is it that we can do? That's what I'm hoping that would happen.
No, I will ask you a more specific question. Next week, what is gonna happen next Tuesday? Because usually there are some sort of these events on Tuesdays, but, like, what do you think will happen?
Realistically, I think they'll just, like, say, "Oh, here's a can of free beans. That's
for a
free."
month, for another month, right?
Yeah, here you can just say with free beans, and here's a jacket that you've probably already have, but you can have it for free. Like, that's kind of what I think is going to happen. But if we're being hopeful, and just, you know, having a bit of optimism, it'll be nice for them to actually acknowledge us, because it's been all over for the past 3 weeks.
3 weeks, I believe. But what about in the bigger perspective? Like, you know, what will happen with Red Dead Online over 2022 in your opinion? What are your prediction?
Ooh, my predictions of Red Dead Online 2022. They could possibly add another role, maybe. Because if we're talking about another role, the last role that we got was the Naturalist, and she came out in July of 2020. And then since then, we haven't had a new role. So if we were to get like a summer update, then it would be nice to have a summer update, like a new role announced in the summer. Maybe like a nice little roadmap would be nice as well to see what's going to be upcoming as well. But with like the quick draw clubs and like the outlaw passes and stuff like that, maybe they could have more stuff that's not kind of like useless. Like for example, I don't know. Like we would like to see, because like my subscribers have said to me, like in the last previous outlaw passes and quick draw clubs and stuff, that they would like to see more horse masks and stuff like that, because we've only had like a couple of them. So something, a more like nice customizable outfits, because some outfits that are in the quick draw club is like ridiculous. But it would be nice to have some more stuff like that. Maybe you could have another Vanderlyn gang member being a stranger mission, because we've got Sadie, we've got Trelawney, we've got Sean. It would be nice to have like another one.
To be honest, I don't actually think that it matters too much in the forms that they are right now in the game, because from what I can tell, like most players don't even know that Sadie is in Red Dead Online. Each time when I visit her on a stream, people like, wow, Sadie is in Red Dead Online. Plus, stranger missions are kinda outdated, let's say. They are super stupid right now, because they pay nothing, and there are much better opportunities that are much more profitable and much more fun, actually, even for beginners. So they should rework this system. But you answered the question, what would you like to see? And I'm curious, what do you think realistically can happen? Will we receive at least some sort of big or at least moderate update this year? Because I'm not quite sure anymore.
Same, to be honest. They're becoming, like, I think each year the updates get smaller and smaller. Like last year we got the Blood Money update, which was fun for like the first kind of like half an hour, and then you get to understand the grasp of what Blood Money is about, and then the whole currency with Capitale. I think that was a bit irrelevant. And I feel like they could have done Blood Money a lot better, because it was advertised like, oh, you're going to do train robberies and bank missions and stuff like that. So it was kind of like, we're going to finally get train robberies and we're going to finally get bank heists, but we never did actually fully get it. So it would be, I don't know, I feel it's like I said, it's a bit unpredictable, because you don't know what's going to happen. Especially it's even harder to assume what's going to happen, because they don't communicate with us. So it's the fact that they don't communicate, I think it's even harder for us to pinpoint what could actually happen. Because if you look at other companies and stuff like that, they'll tweet out like on a weekly basis on what's going to be happening in the game, or like any kind of playlist updates or stuff like that. But Rockstar, they have a severe lack of communication.
Yeah, and like when you said roadmap, I wanted like to say that no, it's probably never gonna happen with Rockstar. Something like roadmap of upcoming content, I just don't think that Rockstar will do something like this. It would be great, obviously, but it's unlikely that they will change to this degree, to such degree, to make a roadmap. And yeah, like you mentioned, Blood Money, they kinda, made an advertisement for it. So it looked like something really cool. I remember I was really excited when they said robberies, but then they added homestead robberies, and I was like, homestead doesn't sound as good as bank robberies or train robberies, but technically we received a train robbery, but still. Most people were disappointed, let's say. Actually, there is one thing that people always ignore when talking about Blood Money because it was released later, like Call to Arms. That was pretty cool. But so, what's
Oh,
your
yeah.
opinion on Call to Arms?
Call to Arms was really fun when the payout was like you get 3 gold bars. Right at the beginning, it was like a triple payout, so you get like loads of money and gold bars. But then when they reduced the what's it called? Like the outcome, like the gold and the money, to only 1 gold bar and a couple of $100, it kind of took out the joy factor for me because you're preparing for 10 waves of enemies. So you're trying to get your meats golden, you're trying to get all your ammo. So you're spending money on ammo supplies and you're preparing with tonics and stuff like that just for 1 gold bar. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of like it reduces the motivation to even want to load up Call to Arms if the payout isn't worth it. It was fun. I did enjoy playing it when it first came out because it was actually worth playing because of the payout. Because it was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get 3 gold bars after this, and I'm gonna get a lot of money after this. So if someone was a new player and they had like a friend who was, who could get them to high rounds to get them to complete all 10 waves to get the 3 gold bars, they can like the new player could level up a lot faster. So
They still can. They still can.
Yeah, but without the payout and stuff, I feel like it's not like, for me anyways, in my opinion, it's not worth it to do Call to Arms if the payout is not worth it.
But actually, it's kind of still profitable. It gives you like more gold than in any other activities and more money if you have a, like you said, a beginner, but he has a few friends at least who know how to play. And it can be completed in like 35 minutes, counting all the cutscenes and for all. Loading screens, and 1 gold bar in 35 minutes is way more than you can earn doing some other things in Red Dead Online. So it's I would disagree with you here because it's still better than other alternatives. It's just
Yeah, I get you.
Not as much as it. I mean, as it should be, considering the fact that most of the time you will not find any sort of a company if you play solo. Because the biggest problem with Call to Arms, in my opinion, is that it's kind of weird matchmaking. And most of the time, if you are a solo player, you will be solo in Call to Arms. And that's it. It's not worth it when you play solo. It's too hard. Yeah, you can complete it, but I was completing it on streams, and usually it takes around 1 hour, and you waste a lot of money on tonics, on ammo, and it's just not that great of idea to play it solo. It's definitely not for the sake of money. Maybe some challenge, but not the money. And Rockstar is not trying to fix this matchmaking for some reason. I don't know. It's the best thing that they released in a long time, and it's still, kinda, I would not say broken, but it's not reaching the potential. Because if matchmaking will work normally, it's gonna be a great way for any player to earn money, to practice in shooting, to have fun, and so on. But about Rockstar ignoring us, like you said that 3 weeks Save Red Dead Online was quite popular, and yeah, we brought a lot of attention, but they haven't answered to us, and it doesn't look at this point that they will. My predictions that I agree with you actually that on Tuesday we will see just generic post like, whoa, hooray, free beans, go for the next month, and nothing will change. And I hear a lot of opinions like, you lost, give up, it's over, and some people even say Rockstar won. Despite the fact that, in my opinion, it's kind of a stupid statement. Rockstar is not winning anything by, disrespecting loyal community. But anyway,
Yeah,
how can you? Well, I'm pretty sure that you, just like any other content creator, hear something like this or read it in the comments quite often. Like, you lost, give up on Save Red Dead Online. Like, it's over.
Yeah, yeah, I'll see like, oh, Red Dead is like a dead game, and like just like get over it kind of
Yeah,
thing, like just accept the fate sort of thing like that. But that's like not the whole point of the Save Red Dead Online movement. The whole point of the Save Red Dead Online movement is that we actually are willing to like reach out to Rockstar, to the platforms on like Twitter and Insta and YouTube and stuff like that, trying to get their attention to show Rockstar that we really love this game. We just want more content. We want more communication, and like we're here, we're still playing the game, we're still admiring the world, and the world that you've created for us, for the players. So like if people say like, oh, give up, that's completely disregarding what we're doing. If
exactly.
anything, if anything, we are not giving up, and we are gonna fight for what we want to play. Like Red Dead in general has done a lot for me. I mean, story was amazing. I have an Instagram based on Red Dead. My YouTube mainly is Red Dead, so my passion, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people's passions, all like they feel very passionate about Red Dead, and the fact that people are saying like, "Oh, just give up," like, no, we're not going to give up just because you said give up. We're gonna fight for what we want, sort of thing. So, like I've been very vocal about Save Red Dead Online on my Twitter and on some of my videos, and I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna stop being vocal about it because why should we? If we want to fight for what we want, we keep fighting until it's done.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you 100% because when I see this statement, like exactly, oh, Rockstar won, like people just don't understand the reasons behind the Save Red Dead Online movement, in my opinion, at least, because I guess reasons might be different for different people why posting this hashtag, but like for vast majority from what I see, the reason is exactly the one like you described it. But it's haven't you been surprised that it was trending for so long? Because I was surprised. I'm not gonna
Yeah, to be
pretend.
honest, I was surprised. Yeah,
You also
I
was
was.
surprised, yeah. I was thinking
'Cause-
like few days, maybe a week, and people later will get tired because you need to repeat, and Rockstar is not replying to you, so it's minus dismorale, and like people will stop it. But no, more than 3 weeks, and it's still pretty strong. Each time Rockstar
yeah,
posting something, boom, a lot of Save Red Dead Online in the comments.
Yeah, I like you said, you were surprised. I was also surprised at the fact that it's still trending after only a couple of days, because I thought that not a lot of people might care about Red Dead Online because of the bland kind of content in it. But seeing it trend now for almost 3 weeks, it's just like I wouldn't have imagined it getting like to this extent in trending, and then articles started to catch up on it, and then like other big gaming pages like the Gaming Bible on Instagram, they all started to pick up on it. So it's like it's really vocal, and we got it to that stage. We made it vocal just by saying Save Red Online, and just by like putting hashtags out there and just like talking about it in general. We made articles see it. We made big pages on like big gaming pages see it, and all because we truly believe that we can save it. So
Yeah,
yeah, it was a surprise, but it
even
was a lovely
IGN,
surprise.
IGN even reached for the Rockstar for reply and said about this twice on their Twitter. But it
Yeah,
seems like Rockstar ignored not only us but as well IGN too. It was
yeah,
obvious they never give such sort of interviews. When they give interviews for some small websites that are help, happy to post these post releases that Rockstar are calling interviews. But I thought maybe, when I saw that IGN is talking about this, I thought maybe Rockstar will decide to use this situation to their advantage, because basically Red Dead Online received quite a lot of free advertisement, and it would be smart for them to use it. But no, they decided to just be silent, and it's actually surprising me. But about Rockstar in general. Haven't your your personal opinion about this company changed in the last few years, let's say?
It actually has. That's crazy that you bring that up because I was speaking to a close friend of mine about it. He, from his point of view, he doesn't see Rockstar the same as he used to, mainly because of the neglect that they're doing to the Red Dead Online community right now. It feels like Rockstar's focus has always been GTA Online. Like GTA is an amazing game, right? I'm not going to slander GTA. It's a good game. It is fun with friends. It has content. There's a lot of things to do in GTA, and it's almost, I think it's like 9 years old now, or 8 years old, or something like that. But Red Dead is only 3 years old, but they're focusing more on an elder game, and they're bringing out, like, they are truly milking a GTA, and it's a bit sad to see because Red Dead is a newer version of whatever game that they just came out with, and you know, it's literally a world of opportunities. Like, there's so many things to do in a Western world, but it's just the fact that they're just not going with it. So, especially recently, going back to your question about if my opinion has changed on it, it has, because it's been everywhere, the Save Red Dead Online movement, and they have done nothing but just carry on with, like, oh, here's a free jacket if you complete a moonshiner and trader delivery. So it's kind of like, we just want you to communicate with us. What I also love is every single post that they like put up on Instagram or even Twitter, their comment section is filled with hashtag Save Red Dead Online, and I love that because it's like they can try to run away from the Save Red Online movement, but we're always chasing them with it, and it's just like we're always going to be there saying Save Red Dead Online until you're actually going to turn around and say, okay, we're listening now. But
so
we don't
far
really
it
know if
looks
that's
like
gonna
they think they can ignore it like forever. So far, because they receive this crazy ratio, like more comments and retweets than likes on Twitter, at least, because there are unfortunately no dislikes, but there is a way to see if audience liked your post or not. But still, they completely ignoring it. And I asked this question about your, opinion about this company and if it's changed, just because it's still an interesting question. Let's say that for many people it's the same. For many players, they change their opinion about Rockstar. They are not so happy about this company in general. But will it affect future releases of Rockstar? So, to simplify it to one situation, Rockstar releases GTA 6 now. Yes, a lot of players are disappointed, but like, will they not buy GTA 6 because of this reason?
I think that GTA 6 has been in the talks for a lot of years. Like, people have been wanting GTA 6 for a lot of years. So if Rockstar were to release it, I feel like people would still buy it because they've been asking for it for a lot of time. I feel like, in regards of like any future sort of project, if it's not GTA 6, if it's something else, for example, like a completely new storyline, new game, new everything, I don't think a lot of people would actually buy into it. Obviously, there'll still be a lot of people buying into it, but I don't think it will be as much as it could have been if they actually started to communicate with us a lot more. Because I feel like them, especially now recently, with the lack of communication that Rockstar have given us, it's kind of like given another outlook on what the company is kind of about, because like they'll reply to people who need support on GTA within like a couple of hours, but then they won't reply to people who are querying something about Red Dead, like if not ever. So it's kind of like kind of like, if you look at it like this way, GTA and Red Dead are two children and GTA is the favorite child. That's kind of like how I look at it. GTA is going to be the favorite child out of the two.
And Red Dead Online is adopted and it lives in a basement. And being heated. It's not only its favorite child, child is like a huge difference between how they treat these two childs. And yeah, actually I think that the situation is exactly this, that it might not change the amount of copies, their behavior, Rockstars' behavior, might not affect the amount of money that they will make from GTA 6 if and when it will be released, or rather when and if. But anything else besides that, any remake, any remaster, anything, it will be affected because a lot of people are disappointed. And but maybe Rockstar is not planning anything until GTA 6, and they feel fine about it. That's why, because I mean, I see no reason why would they ignore such an opportunity to take advantage of, because they can say anything, like basically say something like they did last year about blood money. Like imagine, like call it a big heist and blah blah blah, whatever they said, and people will be satisfied with this answer, even if it's turned out not to be like exactly how they described it in the future. But still, or maybe they can just say like some generic post like, we are serious about future of Red Dead Online, look forward for more details in a few months or something. It's still gonna be beneficial for them and better than just not replying at all. And but they do. We will see what will happen next Tuesday. They will post regular post or what, because it's a really interesting moment right now. But so far the situation is really confusing to me. And as for the future of Red Dead Online, you described a lot of things that you want to see in the future updates, but there was some relatively small things. If we talk about something like, significant, what would you prefer to see? What will change Red Dead Online and save it, if you will, like some big part of the content? Like just you can use your imagination and say like everything that is even unlikely, like Mexico or something.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome if you get like a Mexico kind of like opportunity to go to in Red Dead Online. I think like, how there was a story mission with Jessica and Horley. It would be awesome if you can get a story mission with the Vanderlyn gang. And just like seeing, so do you know the whole like what happened in Blackwater, that entire mystery? That mystery could be explained in Red Dead Online. So like if you do Vanderlyn gang missions and then you have to like help them out sort of thing, or like you're kind of like supplying them with different things and doing little side missions for them, and then you get to see what happened in Blackwater through Red Dead Online, I think that would be huge in the game factor. Because if you don't play Red Dead Online, for example, and you're playing the story for the first time and you are kind of like going through, what did happen in Blackwater? So how did Dutch shoot a woman in cold blood? Like what happened there? How did that lead up to it? You could, and then you can then say, you can play it in Red Dead Online. That would then motivate the person to go into Red Dead Online and to actually play it.
Yeah, it's a great idea. It's like a DLC for the story, but released in online, which is like an awesome, from business point of view, in my opinion, it's an extremely good idea to do something like this, and can be extremely profitable, because a lot of people who are playing Red Dead Redemption 2 story and enjoying it, they're not like too keen about Red Dead Online. Like, not from statistics, not many players are playing Red Dead Online who have Red Dead Redemption 2, and not many players are reaching level 10. So surprisingly low, and this might change the situation. And actually, you know what, it's not that unrealistic to expect something like this, because they've done something similar this December in GTA Online. They added this characters from the story, Franklin
and Lamar.
and they have this small after the contract, this mission with Dr. Dre, they have a small part where you can play as Franklin and Lamar. And just imagine something like this in Red Dead Online. So you complete something, you, let's say, helping Dutch to get ready to the Blackwater robbery, and then you play as the characters who took part in Blackwater robbery. It was not Arthur, not Hosea, but let's say you play as Dutch and I don't know, John or Micah, it would be amazing. It's an amazing advertisement for Red Dead Online. It can be huge. But and yeah, like the story is unfinished for the purpose. Maybe they planning to do it, to explain the situation in Red Dead Redemption 3 someday, like 10 years from now or something. But maybe they were initially planning to do something like this, something like you just described, and it would be a smart move from them, because they are not selling game Red Dead Redemption 2, but they also making sure that people who love this game will transfer to online as well, and maybe buy some gold bars set. So yeah, it's I hope someday we will see something like this. And even it's not necessarily should be a Blackwater robbery. There are so many different missions that are possible. We can help Arthur or Hosea, and they can tell us what Arthur and Hosea were doing during this period of time. Or we actually can help to any gang member, and it can be really interesting. But it's not solves one of the problems, the broken economics of Red Dead Online. Actually, I would start with a question, Russell. Do you agree with me that economics is basically fundamentally broken in this game?
Yeah.
Because
like the payouts and stuff at the end of missions.
Yeah.
All this stuff. It's completely ridiculous how the payouts are so low, and it just makes you it feels so unmotivated. Because, for example, right, I've spoken about this a lot with my subscribers on my channel. The whole bounty hunting missions. So the longer you take on a bounty mission, the more you get paid. But I feel like it should be the other way around. The faster you get it done should be the bigger payout, because you're fast and you're quick and you're on it, sort of thing. But it doesn't make sense that the longer you take on a mission, the more you get paid. So the faster you do, you get 0.08 gold and $9. I don't think that's good at all. I think it's stupid.
And you know what's the biggest problem with the system is that they never not saying about, they not explaining it nowhere. So new players, they are not aware of how it works. So let's imagine someone starts playing, and let's say he's relatively good and he takes some simple missions and obviously completes them extremely fast in 3 minutes or so. And what he sees, 0 gold bars, because if you complete a mission in less than 3 minutes, you don't get gold at all, and you get some pathetic amount of money, like $5. And then this new player looks at the prices and he gets disappointed. He has this feeling that Rockstar is trying to force him to buy gold bars, to use real money. And it's this simple mechanic distracts more players from Red Dead Online and hurts Rockstar as a company more than lack of updates, in my opinion. Because new players, I seen the statistics about achievements on Steam, on PlayStation. New players are just not leveling up. About 16%. 16% of people who started Red Dead Online, if I remember correctly, or 18, are reaching level 50, and it's not even a high level. So they're dropping it extremely fast. And this mechanic is just terrible, and it should be changed. What do you think, by the way? Do you since you've been talking about this with your viewers and obviously thinking about it, what do you think? Why Rockstar implemented such a weird and unusual? Let's be honest, it's not a common mechanic for different games. It's like they have it, but I don't remember other game companies using such weird mechanic.
I don't know, to be honest. It's because it's hard for me to even grasp why they would even do that in the first place. So it makes no sense to me that the fact that does they want us to grind more? Do they want us to feel the need to play, to do, for example, more bounties to get more gold? Because doing bounty missions, like apart from Call to Arms, is probably the best way to earn gold. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but you know, apart from
it's a good one.
apart from Call to Arms, bounty hunting is probably the best way to earn like a lot of gold bars. But it just makes no sense that the faster you do it, the less payout you get. It just, I don't know, it just doesn't seem right, because but it's like, apart from like just doing missions to get certain payouts, it's just everything in general. It's just the entire economy, like you said, is broken. So...
Yeah, it's not only actually it's the only example of how economics is broken. Because let's say it's super weird. At the beginning, Red Dead Online is kind of hard for beginners because you don't need tonics, you don't need ability cards, you don't need these weapons, and enemies might be danger to you if you're not that good at shooting. And overall, it's kind of hard to earn money, kind of hard to earn gold when you don't have rolls yet. So it's kind of challenging. But then it changes from my experience around level 50 or 70, and from the state of when you don't have money, never have enough money, you extremely fast jump to a stage where you have more money than you need. Like you don't need money anymore.
Yeah.
There is no reason to grind, at least. So.
Yeah, it's because like I have a lot of money on Red Dead Online, and I have a lot of gold on Red Dead Online, probably more than I even need.
Yeah.
But it's difficult for like a new player, because it's like everything is expensive for them when they first start to join. But then when you start to actually get the money, and then when you start to get used to the gameplay and stuff, it's actually, you don't need all the money that you've spent all this time grinding for, because you already have everything, and there's nothing new to buy because the game isn't getting updated enough for you to actually spend the money that you've earned, or to spend the gold that you've earned on it.
Yeah. And I just thought that, you know, in most, let's say, free-to-play games, the situation is quite opposite. They make it super easy and as enjoyable as possible for beginners, you know, to hook them. And then it becomes harder and harder, and people like who get engaged in these games, they feel like they might want to buy some money, in-game money, with using real money. But Red Dead Online is kind of opposite. The only audience that Rockstar is capable of take money from are beginners. That's why we don't receive like many updates or many attention to the community, unfortunately. I think it's the biggest problem, and they need to fix it somehow, because they just copy-pasted it from GTA Online. But in GTA Online there is one big difference. There is so much content. And when you know there is a lot of content, and it's expensive, and there is a lot of new cars, businesses, like whatever, a lot of new stuff that you can spend money on in each update regularly. It's completely different situation. This kind of ecosystem might exist, but not in Red Dead Online, because like there is not enough content, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So it's super weird why they decided.
Sorry, go on.
No, I'm listening.
Oh, it's bizarre to me, the fact that Rockstar had to feel the need to make Red Dead Online a separate game as well. Like, you don't have to purchase the full game to play online. You can just buy Red Dead Online for like $20, and then that's it. So they're kind of, I don't know, like making it out like, oh yeah, buy the game separately, like buy online separately. You'll get all of these updates. You'll get all of this good stuff. Like you don't need the full game. You don't need to spend all of this money on the full game to be able to play Red Dead Online. You can just purchase the game separately to be able to access Red Dead Online, and then not have any updates, not have any kind of content for you to enjoy the game that you've just bought. And like you said, Rockstar, it's like they're taking advantage of new players so that they can spend real money to get gold bars and to get higher on the game. But it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like they just want our money basically, and they're just finding every single way to take our money other than actually making us want to play the game by updating it.
Yeah, it's super weird, especially you mentioned that they are selling Red Dead Online separately. And so when it was a part of a deal, when you buy Red Dead Redemption 2, you get Red Dead Online for free. A lot of people were saying like, why are you going too hard on this game? Like, why are you criticizing Rockstar? You get it for free, so like enjoy what you have and shut up. And it was kind of reasonable argument, because you get it for free. It's basically a free-to-play game. They can do whatever they want. You paid for Red Dead Redemption 2, like the best game of 2018. And so you haven't lost your money. But now once they play Red Dead Online separately, and by the way, $20 in my opinion is a pretty bad idea to buy it for $20, because you would rather wait for some sort of a discount, or maybe buy used, this used DVD for, maybe it's not DVD, maybe no, Blu-ray probably. Anyway, buy this disc for PlayStation and pay a little more, but receive story and online as well. But anyway, since they started selling this Red Dead Online separately, they released only one update, Blood Money.
Yeah, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Blood Money.
It's like people got scammed, if you want. They bought online game, and you know what? People are saying like, "Oh, why would you like say?" People are paying money and they receive a lot of content basically for this money, and that's true. There is a lot of content already in Red Dead Online, so many hours of gameplay. But when people are buying online game, they always in their mind have this idea that it will be developed. There will be some continuations, so more and more. It's online game. You buy it and you play it for years if you enjoy it, right? So and Rockstar kinda didn't deliver it.
No, I just feel like after Blood Money came out, they kind of just like dropped the game, and they were like, okay, well, Blood Money's out. This is your summer update. Enjoy it, and we'll see you next year, sort of thing. And God knows what they're gonna do this year.
Maybe next year we will see.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
It's not even for sure. Yeah,
but yeah, I honestly feel like it's a scam.
Yeah, and a lot of new. It seems like Red Dead Online standalone is not really popular, because the funny thing is, not Rockstar, but Take-Two, on the investors' calls, they never said an actual number of copies of Red Dead Online that they've sold. They never shared this information, which
probably
is
because it's not high enough.
Yeah,
to share.
Probably that's why. And it's suspicious, because actually for $5, in my opinion, it's a must-have if you don't have let's say if you have Red Dead Redemption on one platform and you decided to buy Red Dead Online separately on a second platform. Anyway, for $5, it's an awesome deal. But still, they kind of failed with this, and that's why they never shared. And you said that they kind of changed, in your opinion, their approach to the game from the Blood Money, because I think they changed it after they saw low amount of sales once they released standalone. I'm pretty sure that back in last December, not last December, but when they started to sell it in 2020, they already decided to not deliver a lot of content, let's say, to neglect Red Dead Online in 2021, because nothing after Blood Money was released, nothing was tested at all at any point. That
I think
we can tell
I
for
think
sure.
it's crazy that that Red Dead Online is a standalone, so you can buy Red Dead Online by itself, but you can't do that for GTA. You'll have to actually buy the game for GTA to play to play GTA Online. But GTA Online is the bigger online version, you know, like what Rockstar has given us. So maybe I think that the reason why they've actually decided to sell Red Dead Online separately from the actual game to make it its own game, to like make it its own standalone game, is because it's not getting a lot of people on it regardless, like even before it wasn't a standalone. So I think that whilst they were like, okay, we're gonna make it a standalone, and hopefully that will bring in a bit more numbers and stuff like that. But what Rockstar are failing to see is because the numbers are low because there is no content that's being inputted into the game. If if the content was, you know, active and you're getting new stuff very often, the numbers would be more or less the same level of GTA. If they inputted the same amount of like effort in GTA as they do to Red Dead, they will both be even, I think, because you know everyone loves GTA. Whoever's played Red Dead loves Red Dead, love the world, love the mechanics and stuff like that, and they want to continue to play it. So I feel like if Rockstar actually pumped in the energy and hours and money into Red Dead Online, they'll see a huge difference in numbers.
Obviously, I'm not quite sure if it can reach the level of GTA just because, well, setting has some limitations. I mean, just many people are not interested in Wild West, but with that being said, they can make huge amount of money of this game because, yeah, there might be smaller amount of players in Red Dead Online, but there are, I'm pretty sure there will be a higher percentage of loyal players. Plus, additionally, audiences, let's say, it's a different average age of an audience for GTA Online and for Red Dead Online. So, from my point of view, people who play Red Dead Online should have more money in general. So, it might be extremely profitable for Rockstar to give such audience what they want and what they are willing to pay for, because so far I haven't seen much in Red Dead Online that would make me say, oh nice, shut up and take my money, right? But it's not happening for some reason. I'm really waiting for this moment when I can gladly pay my money, give my money to Rockstar, because they done some good job with updates and delivered some awesome content. I mean, I would pay money like for this kind of a DLC, even if it's happening in online, and if it's
Yeah.
done solid, you know, in a solid way, with some decent amount of interesting missions, you know, level of Red Dead Redemption 2 story. I will gladly pay, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people would do the same. But they just, for some reason, not looking into this direction. And what do you, by the way, what do you think from reading comments, from talking with viewers on streams? Is community losing hope? I'm now I'm talking about Save Red Dead Online, and not only Save Red Dead Online, but you know, the future of this game in general.
Seen some of my subscribers saying that they've stopped playing months ago because they don't see Red Dead Online going anywhere. I think it's kind of split down the middle. I feel like some people have actually lost hope and they don't see Rockstar doing anything with Red Dead Online. But on the other half, there's actually people who do care about the game and who are making their voice heard by, you know, by saying Save Red Dead Online and by talking about it and discussing it on socials and stuff like that. So I feel like there is hope, mainly because of how long it's been trending and how many people have actually grasped onto the movement that we created. So it's not like I've lost hope, or like I feel like there's no hope for the future of Red Dead Online. I think that it is possible. It's just we're doing our part. We're doing our part by playing the game, by making content, by making the movement Save Red Dead Online We just need Rockstar to do their part.
Yeah, it's you know, up to them right now how they will use this situation. Nothing we can do, unfortunately. I mean, we've done what they could, and now it's actually I will still continue using this hashtag, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people will also still continue this. So there is something we still can do, but like it's up to Rockstar for Rockstar to reply right now. Now let me ask you a kind of different question. Like, on your streams, what are you mostly focused on? Like, what is the favorite part of this game for you?
For me, the favorite part of this game, well, if I was to do, you know, like a normal Red Dead Online stream,
Yeah.
I would have like a purpose to stream for. So, for example, if there was a new Call to Arms map or whatever, I would do the new Call to Arms map. I'll see what's like how far I can get into it. If I need to do like, because recently on my channel, all of my streams have been dedicated to making Red Dead Platinum. So I've been, you know, skinning and studying every single animal from story-wise, hopping into Red Dead Online to, you know, like to craft things and stuff like that to get the trophies for it. So I would go in for a purpose. If I was to stream like without anything, I'd probably just do what I would normally do on a video, and just, you know, do some bounty hunting, do like pop up on my moonshine, check out my trader, make sure that them deliveries have done. I might go into
routine basically.
Yeah,
grinding,
yeah,
grinding
basically.
routine.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I usually do something. Right now, actually, I'm playing as a trader and collector at the same time, because, you know, it's the most chilling experience. Plus, it's easier to read chat this way when you play like this.
Yeah.
But what do you think? Okay, let's put it this way. Describe what is the best thing in Red Dead Online. Like, let's say you want to sell this game to someone who don't know about it at all. Like
the community, probably, just by playing with your friends on the actual world, because you with a group of friends playing on this world, there's just so many things that you can do just with friends. So like you could literally go like to, for example, like Call to Arms. You can play Call to Arms and just see how high you can go, and it could get a bit stressful, especially like in the later rounds, like for example when the wagons start coming, or like when like the animals start coming, or whatever map that you're in. It could get a bit stressful, so like you have to, like, I don't know, like jump on a rooftop, like, because I usually always jump on rooftops towards the end of Call to Arms, because I just don't want to die, so like I'll just get on the high ground, and just, I don't know, like seeing, like, it's kind of like just relaxing, because sometimes like when you just want to relax, Red Dead is such a chill game just to relax, and just, for example, you just go fishing. Like, just going fishing is just, it's so peaceful, because the environment that Red Dead Online has, like in the world that Red Dead Online is, it's peaceful. So it's kind of like people just go there to kind of just clear their minds and stuff like that. And I don't know, it's a nice game. It's not like a chaotic game and there's like gunshots left, right, center, and it's not like a strategy game sort of thing. It's just basically just you relaxing and just chilling and just minding your own business in the game sort of thing.
Describe the funniest interaction with other players that happened to you in Red Dead Online, since we're talking about the community.
So when on PlayStation they had an option to it was like a community option. So back when it was on PlayStation, I would tell my subscribers to go in the community. So I would do community streams with my subscribers, so we can all go into the same lobby. And just all of us like going to the Moonshine Shack and just like getting drunk and just like slapping each other and then hugging each other and, you know, like dancing to the music. It's just the environment and the vibe that you create. It's fun. And when, for example, I was playing the Halloween version of Call to Arms, and I was in Butcher's Creek, and I was on a rooftop, and then all of a sudden, two NPCs on top of horses spawned on the same rooftop that I was on, and I was like, "What on earth is this?" It was really funny when it happened because it was like right in my face, sort of thing. And yeah, it's just like playing with groups of people. Like we went to the theater in Saint Denis, and we did a fight club. So like everyone was sat down, and then there would be like two people right at the front where the stage is, and then we'd just fight and just like win, sort of thing, like fist fight. And in Saint Denis graveyard, playing hide and seek without a hood on, so like you can't see where the other player is. Just making your own fun in the game, and using your own creativity and your own imagination takes you further than what Rockstar has actually given us so
Yeah,
far.
but it leads also because I've heard this, sort of an argument that the funniest thing in Red Dead Online already exists, and and it leads us to a question like, if all this stuff is already there, like the funniest part is communication with friends and stuff like that, but you can do it right now without update, Rockstar might say, or someone defending the current situation. Like, why would you need update then? It's already here. There are a lot of possibilities to hang out with friends, to have these community events and like just chill, or just chill. So why updates are needed in this case? It's not I'm asking, but I've seen a lot of questions like this, and
Yeah.
people are saying like, why would you need an update? This game is already perfect. Like, shut up and play.
So if people say like the game is already perfect, good for them. As long as they're having fun, that's perfectly fine. That's their own opinion. But for people who have played the game since basically the beta, you've already done everything that there is in the game. You've already seen every single stranger mission. You've already done every single legendary bounty, and you know what I mean? Like all the moonshine
Yeah.
missions have already done stuff like that. So everything that's already in the game, you've done if you've been there for a long time. So having an update makes room for more creativity, makes room for more memories. It makes room for more fun to actually, and also more room to even want to log onto the game and to play it. Just like even by yourself or with friends, the more content that's been added gives you more motivation to actually want to go check it out. Like I'm still waiting for a day where Rockstar releases multiple updates all at once, and I have a stress on, oh my god, what do I play first? There's just too many updates and I don't know which one to go first. I'm waiting for that day to happen because having like stress like that, like, oh my god, what do I play first, is the best sort of feeling, because you want to play everything but you just don't know which one to play first and stuff like that. So having that joy and that excitement of wanting to play, I think is really important.
Actually, I think situation you described is not gonna happen, even if we're gonna be receiving like big good updates in the future, because Rockstar apparently decided that it's better, to drip feed content like they did with Blood Money. Actually, Call to Arms was released later. Big Outlaw Pass was split into 4 smaller parts, and so on. These missions from Telegram, new missions, how they called hardcore Telegram missions or something, they also were released later. So they decided that it's better not to, release all the content that they've created at the same time. And who knows, maybe it's even a good idea. It's just I wish there were more content and better content in general.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
by the way, about this new system with Outlaw Passes, your personal opinion, is it better? I mean, quick draw clubs, because many people already forgot that we had Outlaw Passes in this game at some point. Maybe never seen them. But like, I will explain for those who started playing Red Dead Online not a long time ago. Previously, we had these big Outlaw Passes for a few months, 100 levels or something like this, like big, and with all the cosmetics inside. And now Rockstar changed it to like smaller Outlaw Passes, but we receive them, at least in summer, we receive them each month. And what do you think? Which system is better? Which one do you personally prefer, and why?
Oh, that's a good question. I like the idea of having an outlaw pass or like quick draw club or whatever it is. I like the idea of it because it gives you like a reason to, if it's worth it, if there's good content that you want to look forward to and you want to unlock, it's worth it to actually play the game in order to unlock it. I liked the idea of it coming out like every single month sort of thing, but I kind of also wanted more content in the past. So even though it comes out every single month, sometimes people can't like they can't play enough in the month to get it up to the level that it is to complete it. So for example, if you have work and stuff like that and you're busy, you won't have time to complete it in the time that the pass is given. So in that context, it's kind of a bit iffy, like a bit 50-50. But if there's a big pass and it has 100 levels in and it comes out every, let's say, 3 months, I think that time it's more flexible, and it gives you more time to complete it. But you'll still get players that complete it in a couple of days, or if not on the day.
Hours,
yeah,
not even
like,
hours. In 1 hour, just selling million
selling
collectibles.
Yeah. So it's like, no matter what Quick Draw Club design comes out, whether it's every 3 months it comes out or every month, there's always going to be people that will finish it in a couple of hours or like an hour or something like that, because they've like grinded a lot of the game, so they have all of these sets ready to go just in case something does drop, like a Quick Draw Club. So they'll always be prepared, no matter when it comes, how long it's going to be. They'll always finish it in a couple of hours. But for those who don't have like the collectibles and they want to like actually play the game and grind it to unlock it, that way it could be nice if it's a stretch over like every 3 months or something like that.
So you personally would prefer this previous system with Outlaw passes rather than Quick Draw Clubs?
I like both of them, but yeah, probably the one that's more flexible, because for me, I go to work every single day and stuff like that, and I only play Red Dead for when I record. Like the only time I play Red Dead is to do my video sort of thing. And then every now and then I'll hop on it with like my friends and stuff like that and play casually. So to have the flexibility of completing the pass every 3 months would be nice. But I also like the part where it came out every month, but it was only 25 levels. So although you do finish it a lot faster, the 25 levels, I don't know. I feel like there's still always gonna be people that are happy with it and not happy with it.
Yeah, just like with any other updates, there are always people who are happy with it, people who are unhappy. It's only a question of the proportion. Because, for example, Outlaw Pass 5 was released, and there were still players who said that it's a cool thing, and were happy about it, but vast majority, from what I can tell, like, hated this Outlaw Pass. Do you remember this one, Pasway? What was your, initial reaction when you saw this beard and
oh yeah,
weird costumes?
I remember looking at it and I was just like, what? Like, I had to laugh because I just thought it was the most stupidest thing to look at. I was like, what on earth is this? So I thought it was really funny. And
who came up with this idea? Like, who is that person who thought that?
Literally, who thought having a hay beard would be nice?
Yeah,
it was silly, to say the least. It was silly, but it was also kind of like, if they put it in there just for the laughs, then they got that, because I laughed a lot when I saw it. But then looking back at it, I was like, they kind of like wasted a slot for something that we could actually use.
Exactly.
So I don't know if there was like, do you know like how they have stuff that comes out in the past and then something for free as well? So maybe there could have been something like you get the hay beard and you get this. So like, say for example, the hay beard could be for free, and then something below it, like say for example a horse mask underneath it would be for the battle pass. So it'll make someone actually want to get past that level, even though they get the hay beard. But yeah, seeing it, I think that was the same pass where the jacket was the final. It was like a snake skin jacket.
Yeah.
It was that one.
Blue one.
Yeah. I
voodoo,
thought that was
something like he looks like some voodoo stuff, and hat as well. Really bad.
For that to be like the last level for you to unlock, I thought that was absolutely horrendous. I was like, what is this? It has to be for me, because I play a lot of Call of Duty, and every month and a half they come out with a new battle pass, right? A new like a, you know what I mean, like a battle pass.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I played.
the last level that you unlock, so like level 100, will always be something legendary. So it'll be something really good to unlock. So I'm comparing that with what we got for Red Dead Online. So Red Dead Online, we just got like a blue jacket when it could have been something way better. It could have been like a legendary, for example, horse mask or something like that. You know what I mean? Something worth actually wanting to finish the pass for.
Yeah, but there's always a dark side behind this as well, because it's like it's kind of forcing you to. If I remember correctly, you can unlock levels in Call of Duty by paying, or it's not in Call of Duty, or it's some other game. I'm not quite
By
sure.
what, sorry?
By paying
playing?
real, no, not playing, but paying somehow.
Oh,
If you
yes.
don't have enough time.
Yes.
It's Call of Duty, yeah. So it's, you know, it's a predatory monetization system mechanic, basically, because like, oh, here you go, huge prize. But from what I remember when I was playing Call of Duty, if you play casually, you're not gonna unlock all the levels in time given. It's like not a chance. So like people are a little bit forced to play if they pay, if they want this thing. And with all the problems that Red Dead Online has, it's definitely don't have any sort of, you know, this predatory monetization mechanics. It's not pushing too hard. Yes, it's pushing new players a little bit more than it should, but besides that, I cannot tell that, you know, because people always saying, oh, Rockstar are so greedy with Red Dead Online, they're so forcing you to buy gold bars. At the beginning, yeah, probably, but later they just don't. I mean, these Outlaw passes, for example, it's nonsense. It's don't exist in any other game that when you complete it, you get all the money back, all the gold bars back. Like, it's almost always all the money. Sometimes it's like, if you buy in the first week, for example, you pay 45 gold bars, then receive back immediately in the first week, and then 35 gold bars during leveling it up. And it's not that hard to level up, usually, as you said, like, let's say previous Outlaw passes, they were for 3 months, and even if you play casually, not too often, you still will probably complete it in 3 months.
Yeah.
So it's not like in Call of Duty. So actually, please give your opinion. I agree with me about the fact that, you know, Rockstar is not pushing too hard with microtransactions.
No, they're not. I feel like you said, like for new players on Red Dead, everyone will be like, oh my god, there's so much stuff that I need to do. I need to get all of this gold, so let me just buy it to get the easy way out. So once you buy it, and then once you actually have leveled everything up, by then you would have already got all the money that you could possibly need for the game and all the gold that you need for the game. So it kind of like removes the purpose. So, whereas like, if you're comparing it to Call of Duty, you will have to actually play the game. Or if you want to buy the tiers, you can buy the like the levels and stuff to get there faster. But that's just like burning money when you can just play it sort of like yourself just to earn it. But people could also in Red Dead Online use the gold bars to just skip. If there's only like 25 levels, for example, that's like 25 gold bars. And if you have enough, like if you have like 500, let's say, gold, you can easily just purchase 25 gold bars just to complete one of the passes, and then that's it, you're done. So like if you don't have time to grind the game, you can just buy the gold bars with the gold that you already have, because what else are you going to use it on? There's literally nothing else in the game that if you're on that level where you have 500 gold bars, what else are you going to spend the gold bars on if you already have everything and you already got all of this gold bars? There's like no point it just being sat there if you want to just get it over and done with so you earn the content just purchase it and then move on and then just wait till the next one sort of thing.
Yeah, it's a weird system actually for this online service game. It's kind of weird that it works like this in Red Dead Online. I actually found a place on a stream where good Red Dead Online updates are hidden. It's a grave in the middle of nothing. But since we're talking about these microtransactions, I'm just curious about your opinion on, it's possible way of the future development of Red Dead Online. At some point, they might make it free to play. Red Dead Online as standalone. That's why they separated. It might be one of the reasons why they decided to separate, to have the separate version, because it's too much to give Red Dead Redemption for free, because even many years later they will still be able to sell it with a discount and have some good money. But giving away Red Dead Online for free is absolutely fine. And even more, some big companies will give them money for this, like Epic Store, I don't know, maybe PlayStation, maybe Microsoft, who knows. And they will have an ability to sell gold bars as well. So it might look like a possible future for Red Dead Online. What do you think about such possibility, and like what is your opinion if it will happen?
Well, like you said, like earlier on, if there's anything worth in the game to spend money on in Red Dead Online, I would do it as well. Like, for example, if there's going to be a DLC that you can actually like spend, like you'll have to purchase it apart from for it to be a part of Red Dead Online, I would purchase it, but only if it's worth it, sort of thing. Because I'm not obviously, like I mentioned earlier, I play Call of Duty. I have spent money on Call of Duty. I have spent money on Uncharted multiplayer. I've spent money on different multiplayer games. So I'm not shy of spending money on microtransactions. It's just the fact that the only reason why I do spend it is because I see the content is worth it. So if Rockstar do release something and I don't believe like the content is worth it, and I feel like it's dry content, I won't buy it. So I will still play it online, but I just won't take part in DLC. But saying that, if Rockstar do release a single DLC, no matter what it is, I will buy it because it's going to be new content, and I want to see what this new content is.
I'm afraid it's not gonna happen because it seems like they gave up on single player DLCs.
Yeah, obviously it's like not going to happen, but like I'm just speaking in like a optimistically, just like looking out there, like over the horizon, something to hope for, then yes, I would. But other than that, I don't really see it, to be honest.
But as for just a prediction, what do you think? There is a high possibility that like someday, and maybe even this year, Red Dead Online will become free to play?
Probably. I can see it happening because I don't feel like the numbers are high enough regardless. So I feel like if it's free to play, then Rockstar might say, okay, if it's free to play, then we might get some more people. We might get more people on the game, on the servers, buying more gold bars if they want to. Like we said, like new players tend to do that a lot because obviously they see the world like, oh my god, there's just a lot to do right now. It could be a bit overwhelming. So to reduce the overwhelmingness, you can just get gold bars through microtransactions just to speed things up a bit. But yeah, I can see it becoming for free. I can see it happening.
And actually, I thought when you were saying about DLCs for Red Dead Redemption 2 story, that first of all, there are a lot of possibilities to release these DLCs, completely different DLCs in online and make some good money. And one possible, topic theme for such DLC would be an undead nightmare, something like this.
Yeah.
Just imagine something like this being released for online, where you can play as your character, where you can play as some characters from the story. Let's say Arthur, and he has this, I don't know, small adventures that he decided never to talk about, with zombies during this time, because he's not with the gang at this moment, probably. So again, insane potential for Rockstar to, you know, to basically give good content that people will be willing to pay money for. Because if I will see some DLC like that, something about zombies, well, it's exactly the situation of this meme, like, shut up and take my money. And they should realize it, because people are basically asking for them again and again to add something similar to Undead Nightmare into Red Dead Redemption 2. But still they are not doing anything. I mean, we haven't even received zombies on Halloween. Not a single time.
I
So
thought
weird.
that you know, the Call to Arms map, even though they did
Yeah.
do kind of like that would have been such a good opportunity to make it zombies.
Yeah,
And
perfect.
because like it would have been, it was literally right there. It was there right in front of Rockstar, but they just didn't do anything with it. It's kind of like talking to a wall and just trying to get information through the wall, but you just can't. That's literally like how I feel about with Rockstar. But everyone would want to see Undead Nightmare 2, because obviously Undead Nightmare 1 came out with Red Dead 1. So it would be like a continuous theme to bring it out, and like the normal thing to do would be like, okay, because we've got part 1 with John, we'll get Undead Nightmare 2 with Arthur, and we'll make a new story with him, and it will be something for the players, you know. Also, like, players' justice as well, because it's happened before in the past. You've got the DLC with John, so now with these new players, you can get the DLC again, but this time with Arthur, and just comparing it and just seeing different kind of like how Arthur gets to roam around as a zombie, or what missions he gets up to, and seeing old characters as well. Like in Undead Nightmare 1, you get to see old characters like Irish and like Shaky and stuff like that. So like just seeing that again, but possibility of it happening in Red Dead 2 would have been nice.
Yeah, it's even, I have this feeling sometimes that they're waiting for some moment to add all this obvious stuff, and, you know, I don't know, maybe for next console generation to be more common, widely used, or maybe to some other moment, but because it really makes no sense why all this stuff is not in the game. Like you said, zombies would be perfect for Call to Arms, but not only for Call to Arms, for these special Halloween events that we received in 2019 and 2020. There are supernatural things going on. And especially in 2020 mode, I don't remember how it was called, but, you know, we're getting attacked by these cult people, and they look like zombies, and they almost zombies, except they have guns and bows, which is stupid. But like, they could have been zombies easily, and it would be so much more fun. But Rockstar decided not to do it, so it makes no sense. Again, just like in many other situations, like why not adding zombies when it's a good moment? So one of the reasonable explanation is that they are waiting for a moment to release some sort of Undead Nightmare themed, maybe DLC, maybe update for Red Dead Online, who knows. But they just not deciding, you know, to show their strong cards at the moment, and they're saving it. What do you think? Is it possible? Is it likely?
Well, I would like to be optimistic and to be like, oh, do you know what? It would be nice. You know, it would be nice. It's like all the content is in front of Rockstar. Like all the zombie content, it was literally right there. Like you could have literally done it. But it's just, like I said before, we've done our part. We're literally playing the game. We're literally giving them all of these ideas. We're literally spitting out all of these ideas and context and like, you know, just concept art for them, but they're just turning away and just like not even looking at us or looking at our ideas or even hearing us. But yeah, in the just being like optimistic, it would be nice, but is it gonna happen? Probably never.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's more and more unlikely that something like this will happen in the future. By the way, have you seen these rumors about Red Dead Redemption 3? I'm pretty sure you had. And
Yeah, I've heard I've heard like people's theories on what Red Dead 3 could be about.
what do you think, by the way, if there will be someday because spoiler, all these rumors about Red Dead Redemption 3 being developed is nonsense. But if it will be developed, where would you like it to take place? In why period of time? Before,
I
after,
would
you know?
yeah, I would like it to be like how the gang formed. So like how Dutch met Hosea, because you know in a campfire Hosea spoke about how they met and stuff like that. So from Dutch being with Hosea, and then from them bringing in like a young Arthur and a young John, and then eventually getting everyone else like Miss Grimshaw and stuff like that, and then just seeing characters that we've only heard of. So, for example, Mac and Davy and Jenny, and you know, like all these other characters that we've just heard of in Red Dead 2. It would be nice to actually see them and to see what they were like in the gang. And then it could end right up until where they're running away from the Pinkertons from Blackwater. So something could happen at that timeline. So it'll be able to blend in with Red Dead Redemption 2. So, say for example, you're at the end of Red Dead Redemption 3, where you're at the Blackwater heist, and you've actually seen what happens, and then all of a sudden you need to escape and stuff like that. Like your character could be Mac, and your death could be in Coulter. So, because we saw Mac die in Coulter right at the beginning of Red Dead Redemption 2. So, for it to be able to blend and merge in with the story that's already been told in Red Dead Redemption 2 would be nice to see. Also, in Red Dead Redemption 3, it would be nice to see a bit of, you know, because John mentioned in Red Dead Redemption 1 that he had a daughter as well as a son. So it would be nice to see that. It would be nice to see Arthur and his son as well, because Arthur also had a son, but then they got murdered for like $10 or something in a robbery. So it would be nice to see stuff like that we've only heard of. So to be able to hear a story that's been told in Red Dead Redemption 2, to then actually see it happen in Red Dead Redemption 3 would be nice.
But it's kind of the only problem is that it's like there are a lot of spoilers already existing. To let's say if we play as one of the characters who we know is gonna die, and we actually know exactly when. Isn't it gonna, you know, hurt the story in your opinion?
That's actually true, because obviously, like I just said, like if you're playing as Mac and then you already know Mac's dead, it might take away a bit of the emotion from the game, because you know what's going to happen. But it was just like an idea. You could literally play, like, obviously you see Mac die in Coulter, but you don't see how Davy dies. So, and you just don't know. Or there could be like a completely new character. There could be someone completely new. That something happens to him and they've never mentioned him in Red Dead Redemption 2 or something like that. So it could be a completely new character to be brought up.
Mm-hmm. And what about, you know, this time period after Red Dead Redemption 1? So like a continuation of a story somehow.
So then you'll be able to play as Jack.
Yeah.
I don't know, to be honest. I feel like the era of Outlaws and Wild West like finished basically when Red Dead Redemption 1 finished, because obviously you're starting to go into more of a civilized world in Red Dead Redemption 1 at the end of it. So if they're still going to continue the Wild West theme, I feel like they wouldn't be able to continue it from Red Dead Redemption 1 onwards, sort of thing. It'll have to be before Red Dead Redemption 2.
Mm-hmm. So like another prequel to the story.
Yeah, so we're going like back in time instead of...
Weird system. But it might work actually if someday will, because I would personally would like to see the story of Dutch the most, because in my opinion he's an extremely interesting character, much deeper than many other characters in the game, and there is a lot of interesting stuff that can be shown in this story. Yeah, unfortunately it will like end with pretty much nothing, because if it takes place before Red Dead Redemption 2, well, it ends up with what? With Blackwater robbery, and it's not a good, ending for a big story. But who knows? They might find some other way to end the story, maybe to give us to play as some other character after playing as Dutch. But I would personally just love to see some more details about the Dutch. And who knows, maybe someday Rockstar will decide to do it, but again, hardly doubt that it's gonna happen. And by the way, thanks to everyone who's watching the stream. I wanted to check how many, more than 500 people, and thanks to everyone who placed a like. Yeah, placing likes is important. And another question now, it's again related to Red Dead Redemption 2 story. Like, have you let me say this, wasn't you were you completed the story? Because I don't know, I guess you did, right? And when you were completing it, I assume you played Red Dead Redemption 1 before the Red Dead Redemption 2, because you were talking about Red Dead Redemption 1. So haven't you had this weird feeling that they changed John Marston too dramatically? I'm not talking about how he looks, but about
his personality.
Yeah, his personality, level of intellect, and even education. And yeah, he might got educated since, the end of Red Dead Redemption 2 to the beginning of Red Dead Redemption 1. But anyway, I'm playing right now Red Dead Redemption 1, and I have this strong feeling that he's a completely different person. Nothing in common at all. Completely different.
They obviously, maybe the events of whatever happened in Red Dead Redemption 2 changed him. So obviously he was a lot younger in Red Dead Redemption 2 than Red Dead Redemption 1, and he may have been more matured in Red Dead Redemption 1, and because since that he's on by himself now, he doesn't have a gang anymore. It's just him and his family, and he has a mission to actually save his family. So he needs to buckle up, sort of thing. So I feel like every event that happened in Red Dead Redemption 2 kind of prepared him and matured him as the missions got on, and the more wiser sort of thing that he got as the missions got on up until Red Dead Redemption 1. Because like I said, he's on his own now, and he needs to actually buckle up himself in order to protect his family and to make sure that they're safe and stuff like that. So he is kind of like a immature kind of Dumbo right at the beginning of Red Dead 2, but then as you go on and progress, then I feel like the events changed him.
Because I was curious, how it feels to see this difference when you played in the opposite direction. First you played Red Dead Redemption 1 and then Red Dead Redemption 2, because I know a lot of people are super pissed about how John looks in Red Dead Redemption 2, especially in Epilogue, but I think it partly is because of changes in his personality, so they are not making much sense. And since we're talking about Red Dead Redemption 2, your favorite character, but not Arthur. Not Arthur.
Okay.
Everyone
That's
will
not
say.
Arthur.
Yeah,
okay, not Arthur and not John, just to rule out them two. I love Hosea. I have a really soft spot for Hosea because he's kind of like the ground of the gang. He's kind of like, if you feel like you need to go tell someone something, you can just go tell Hosea. He kind of has that open arm kind of vibe to him, where you can literally go to him, and he's like a precious kind of granddad of the camp and stuff like that. So, and so I love Hosea. Charles also, he's an amazing player. I'm not player, sorry, character. And just I love I literally love everyone. Even Micah's character. You could hate on him because obviously he's the villain, but he is a best, I think he's one of the best villains in any kind of game that I have played, because he's Micah's character has made people actually hate him, which is the entire point of being a villain. So when you actually feel hatred towards a character, you know that they've been written beautifully. So they've actually like accomplished their goal of making Micah the villain if people actually end up hating him. I do hate Micah's character, but I got a love of how much of a great villain he is.
Yeah, people really hate him. I mean, back in the day, a few months ago, I made a video about why this concept about Micah being... Sorry, by the way, guys, for spoilers, you have few seconds to mute, but spoilers, that Micah is a rat. It makes no sense at all, because after the moment where he's become, apparently, according to Agent Milton, he becomes a rat, Micah, there's nothing bad happens with the gang, like, nothing at all. They have no problems, but they have a lot of problems, like, before this road trip to Guarma. But anyway, it's a lot of people are just saying, like, yeah, in the comments, like, yeah, your arguments make sense, but I mean, Micah is just a villain, and that's a canon, and that's it. I don't even care. Does it make sense or not? So he's an extremely hated person in the community. I mean, I even feel bad for the actor who played Micah, because sometimes people, for some reason, are hating real persons behind actors, and I'm pretty sure that he received some threats or something like this, bad comments from some idiots in the, at least in the internet. I don't know this for sure, but I have this feeling that people hate his character so bad that like this line between the character and the actor is disappearing for some people.
Yeah. And it's not only just with like Red Dead and Micah, it's also if you've played The Last of Us 2, there's a character called Abby, and then the actress who plays Abby is Laura Bailey, and it's also, I saw the kind of like the same thing that happened with Micah and Micah's actor Peter happening again. So it's just kind of like it just goes to show how well the writing is if you actually hate the character with that much passion. But I feel like it's a bit like people should hate the character but just don't hate the actor, because the actor is literally just doing their part. They're just doing their role. They're portraying a character. So, yeah.
Yeah, but they tried their best with Micah to make people hate him. I mean, he's not friendly. He's racist, sexist, whatever he does. He just rude, and even to other gang members with like no real reason. And he's just unfriendly in any possible way. He always says bad things about Arthur, who is the main character.
Yeah, and he kind of like laughs into your face about it as well. Like he'll say something wrong, but then he'll laugh at it. So it's kind of like he's pouring salt on the wound, sort of thing.
Yeah, so like they try to make sure that people will hate him as much as they can, and obviously succeeded. And by the way, you know what? It's one of the things that Red Dead Online is lacking, because let's take a look at the story, for example. Yeah, I know it's a pretty short story and unfinished. Spoiler: Land of Opportunities. But I don't have any feelings about any of the persons that we are going to kill during the story. I don't care about them at all. Just like I don't really care about what happens. Like, it lacks this emotional connection in any way. In a positive way, you know, to feel good about the jobs that you need to do, to feel like it's important, and in a negative way, to hate these people who you facing, and it's just not happening in the story, and that's why actually I enjoyed Moonshiner's small story much more, because in my opinion it's much more engaging. This villain is really looks like an ugly person, this agent, and main characters are more sympathetic. What's your opinion on this, by the way, Moonshiner story and DLC, not DLC but update as well?
I actually really like the Moonshiner story missions, because it's like you're kind of like, I don't know, if we're comparing it to the Land of Opportunities, I feel like you don't really feel connected because you're going to see different characters, you're helping different people every single time you do a mission, whereas in the Moonshiner, you're sticking with the same characters, you're helping the same people, so it's kind of like you're building on the relationship with the characters, which I think makes it a lot stronger, makes the connection more stronger for the player. Plus, the missions are just more badass, I think.
Yeah, and more fun to play, not from mechanical point of view, because it's they showed some progress in this Moonshiner Rockstar as a developer. These missions are much more interesting, and unfortunately, we haven't received anything similar to Moonshiner, like at all, since then, and it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I would like to see like another storyline happen with the Moonshiners, because obviously we've done the first storyline that has like 5 or 6 missions with Maggie and stuff like that. So I would like to see another set of a story that happens. Like something could happen that could I don't know, like something could be targeting your Moonshiner, and you have to do like certain story missions to be able to like track them down and stuff like that. It kind of like, it's not like the bootleg missions, but it's more like an in-depth story of like with Marcel, with Maggie, with I forgot her nephew's name, but with him as well. And to get like another villain, so like instead of like having the revenue agent who was tracking you down in the Moonshiner missions, you could get another one, and you could maybe see some familiar faces, so someone else could.
Braithwaite could be a perfect villains, because they take small part, but in this Moonshiner story. And if I remember correctly, at the end of this mission, they're letting Braithwaite go. Agent is letting him go, so he's. Technically, we can confront him. Chat is actually saying that nephew's name is Lem.
Oh, Lem. Yes.
I forgot about it too, because
I forgot it as well, to be honest.
He's a funny character, but so insignificant for some reason. He's just like for comedic purposes. But you know what? It's like a crazy idea. But if they have done something similar, like let's say small story, developing characters and their relationships for naturalist update, let's say there would be 5 missions, and in some we are helping Harriet, and in some we are helping Gus, and they have this, I don't know, some sort of a confrontation, and maybe we even will have to make a choice, which would be stupid because everyone will choose Gus, but still, they could have done something like this, and it would save Naturalist update, and instead of being like generally not well received, it could have been a big success, because there were a lot of content actually. Like technically there was a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I've seen like people say having a storyline for every role, so like a storyline specifically for bounties and for traders, and for obviously the Moonshiner already has one, but maybe an expansion on the Moonshiner, and then a collectible, like what's the story behind Madame Nazar, like why does she all of a sudden want to collect? So maybe we can see how she started it, how she got into it, and stuff like that. And for Crips doing the traders and stuff like that, so just a storyline for each role, I think would bring you more closer to the role and make you even have like a favorite role. Because like sometimes, like for me personally, bounty hunting is the top role for me, mainly because it gives me more gold. It's like the most gold that you can get from a role. So it would be nice to have a connection with the role, other than just doing simple bounties or collecting simple things and stuff like that. So it would be nice to feel more of a connection behind the role.
Yeah, but to me it looks like they had this idea to make it, but for some reason decided not to, because this character, this bounty hunter woman that we met only in a cutscene for a bounty hunter role, like it would make sense to add her more into and give us some storyline with her, right? But she's not even, if I remember correctly, she's not even, yeah, I'm pretty sure she's not even an NPC in the game, just like Guido Martelli, for example. So these characters only show up in one cutscene and then boom, they're not even here, so who cares about them?
Yeah.
But they could have done it differently and make them important. Because yeah, it's one
For
of the
sure.
problem in Red Dead Online is like it's no NPCs that people can relate to, and like no interesting personalities amongst these NPCs who are taking part. Maybe only Maggie, because that's only interesting small stories that we have, unfortunately. And as you said, there is a problem in Land of Opportunities. We work for different people in pretty much not in every mission, but it's not like we're developing some relationship with one of them, with Jessica Leclerc. She only appears in like 2 missions, 3 missions, and that's it. And nobody cares about her because of that.
Yeah.
So they could have done it differently. And if we're talking about, these missed opportunities, name 2 biggest Rockstar mistakes, something that they have done and like it was lame, and biggest Rockstar missed opportunity, if we're talking about Red Dead Online specifically.
Probably adding more roles to add more of a variety into the online segment it's also like it's a missed opportunity, because I've seen people wanting a fishing role, I've seen people wanting a sheriff role, I've seen people wanting a rancher role, different roles that are possible in the world. So like that's kind of like a missed opportunity for them. Also adding like different variants. For example, this is like a small kind of like change or whatever. I wouldn't consider it being like a really big change, but for example, bounty hunters could have different wagons. So like they could have a wagon with like a Maxim gun on the back or something like that, or the bounty wagon to actually capture in the bounties could be like a cage, kind of like in the story, the one that Trelawney is in when Arthur and stuff they first, yeah, that's the one. So it would be nice to have like different variants of a wagon, just to like change it up just a little bit. I would just like to see more of a story with the characters from the actual story. So like Arthur or like Dutch or John actually being inputted into the game, but not just being as strangers, like stranger missions, but to actually do like a little story line for them.
And it's for missed opportunities, but what about like mistakes, something that they have done, but it has a negative effect on the game?
Definitely the economy, I would say. Definitely the payouts I think it's ridiculous how low it is. With it being gold or actual money, I think it's too low for the players. I don't know, actually, I need to think. There are a lot of things, but it's just kind of like from the top of my head, the first thing that comes to my head is the economy.
So basically something that they have done from the very beginning, and that can be like, okay, it's kind of hard to easy fix the economics, but they can at least change the payout system and make new players enjoy the game more. And I don't even think that they will necessarily buy less gold because of that. I think they will buy more gold if the game will be enjoyable, and you will see that, like, for the mission you receive something valuable, not just doing it for no reason. So actually this one can be changed, like, but you know what, like a little bit of optimistic point of view, but I see in some cases where Rockstar is trying to, step away from this mechanic. Like, for example, in Call to Arms, you're getting paid at least gold for, not for the time, but for amount of waves that you survived. And in some, I don't actually remember other examples where gold earning system makes more sense. But anyways, there is a hope that they will actually, make some changes here. And as for the last question to you, it's gonna be like, again, your prediction. 1 year from now, in which situation you see Red Dead Online? Like, let's say January 2023.
I think that there would be I would think that there'll be one new role. So like whether it be in whatever it is, there'll be one new role, I think. I think that there'll be maybe I think they'll repeat the system where it's a quick draw club comes out every single month. And I think they'll do that again closer to the time where it was similar to last year. So like up until like Halloween, and you get Halloween for free. I feel like they'll repeat that again. But yeah, that's all I think. I think instead of actually doing like a Blood Money release like how they did last year, I think instead of doing that, they will release an actual new role instead.
So the situation will basically get worse. How
Basically,
you describe it's not like an improvement.
Yeah,
or,
basically.
Big.
Because every single update, since I feel like it's just going downhill instead of uphill. So no matter what update comes out, it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. But
Yeah,
you know,
unfortunately, there is no improvement. Actually, I see an interesting point of view in chat. Like Dan Relay says, big mistake was nerfing daily challenges. Scare people away, and people still have thousands of gold. Like, I agree with that. That it was one of the biggest mistakes when last year they changed this.
Shout out Dan. He's one of my viewers as well. But I remember when it first happened, when the whole nerfing system, so many people were like upset with it because that was the only reason why they would feel the need to get onto Red Dead Online at the time, where they were like, okay, I need to get on to keep my streak going, but now that's been taken away from me. What's the actual point? So I've seen like from my friends as well, they've stopped playing because of that nerf. So I feel like it did affect a lot of the players, that nerf, and it did kind of affect the way that people play the game, because it's like sometimes obviously, like, some people go on to get some gold and stuff like that and to stack up on stuff for the future. But now that there's nothing really to spend your gold on, you're just getting all these gold bars for what exactly?
Yeah, that's a part of a problem. And anyway, thanks Dalia for joining the stream today.
Thank
and
you for having me.
Having this conversation. I hope that on Tuesdays there will be some positive news. Not expect.
Hopefully.
But, yeah,
we'll see.
but hope. And as always, thanks to anyone who joined the stream. I should look at the camera. I always forget about this when saying this. And like to everyone who placed a like. And oh boy, I forgot to turn on my Patreon list. Oh, I'm sorry, guys, but and big thanks to all my patrons on the Patreon. And as always, hope you enjoyed it. See ya next time around. Like, subscribe, до свидания, and stay healthy.